Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God, and this is Mark. Check her out.
So hi guys, how are you doing? Number one, different background. I'm currently in a hotel room. I'm in Glasgow at the moment, so that's why the background looks very new to you probably. And number two, because I don't have my tripod with me here, I've had to balance you guys on top of the TV in the hotel room, which is why currently I'm literally kneeling on the bed, so not the most comfortable position to be filming a video with. But the other day I saw something in the cinemas, and as you guys would have seen by the title, it was Aladdin, the live action film. Lord have legit mercy guys, I love this film. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, which if you don't you should, my Instagram is Sam for God, I did post a little like mini review straight after I watched the film because I was so amazed and surprised by how much I enjoyed it. But then I just felt like I had more things I wanted to add, so basically this is my Disney's Aladdin 2019 live action review. So I have to give a big shout out to my mom firstly, because she was the one who got me the tickets. I literally saw the film like on its second day because my mom surprised me with these tickets. I went into the film with very low expectations honestly, because from what I'd seen in the trailers it didn't look that good. Like some of the CGI that I'd seen in the trailers looked a little bit dodgy for some reason. The singing, like the music that I'd seen in the trailers, or the little bits of it anyway, just didn't sound the best. And also like I'm not the biggest Aladdin fan. I like Aladdin obviously, who doesn't? But it's never been one of my favourite films even growing up. Like it wasn't ever a film that I constantly rewatched over and over again, like with Toy Story for instance, or Hunchback of Notre Dame. So yeah, I just kind of went into the film like obviously because I wanted to spend some time with my mom and it was very nice of her to surprise me with the tickets, but also I was really curious more than anything. Like I wasn't excited necessarily, I was just like let's see what Disney does with this live action remake. And honestly guys, I was so pleasantly surprised from the very beginning, and after about 10 minutes in I was like, Lord have mercy, this is actually really good. Surely they're gonna mess it up at some point. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Watching Disney's live action Aladdin 2019 was genuinely 3 of the most enjoyable hours I've spent at the cinema. I really loved it. It was very entertaining. It was lots of fun. I was laughing throughout it. I cried a couple of times. It had a heart. It had loads of colours. It had great music. Yeah. Basically, in a nutshell, I loved it. Now, I don't want to go too deep with this review, and I keep doing this because obviously it's not really a review, it's mainly just me telling you my thoughts. So now you know that I loved it, but I do want to talk about a few things here and there as well, because Lord have mercy, there are some great things about this film. The first thing that I really loved about this film is that it felt very true to the original animation. Now, like I said before, the original Aladdin from 1992 was never one of my favourite films growing up. Like, I watched it, you know, every now and again, but it wasn't one of my favourites. But from what I remember, it's very true to the animation film. Like, this live action film didn't try to do anything new or too different or too out there, which seems to be what most of the other previous live action Disney films have been trying to do. And not that there's anything wrong with that either. Like, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I really like the fact that with this film, with Aladdin, it's almost like they didn't try to do anything extremely different. They were just like, look, we have this Aladdin animated film and it's amazing, and it really is. We were going to try and recreate that in a slightly different way, but not too different. Use all the new technology that we have, make it into a great live action film, and just have a lot of fun with it. And it honestly showed, like, you know, from the actors and the CGI, the choreography numbers, the music, it all showed their true intentions, which was just to have a good time making this film. And I feel like the good time that the cast were having in the film really like reflected into me as an audience member, and my mom as well. We both really loved it. So that's one thing I really liked about it, just the fact that it didn't try to do anything too out there or different, and stayed as true to the animation as it could. There were some bits that were different, but the bits that were different were good and added some fun to the story, and they didn't make it too different. Like, basically, it's more or less the same Aladdin story that we know. Number two, I thought the acting in this film was sublime. Like, honestly guys, phenomenal acting from every single cast member, and that's something that's not happened, for me anyway, in a lot of the live action films that Disney have been remaking over the past few years. With this film I feel like they just got the casting spot on. Like, every single actor who was playing every single character in this film completely understood the character, completely convinced me that they were that character. You could see that they'd all put everything into these characters, and it just really worked. I've got my phone here with me, so apologies for looking down for a few seconds, but let's start with Aladdin, the title role of Aladdin. Aladdin was played by Mina Masood, and I believe he's a Canadian Egyptian actor. I'd never heard of him before, but I thought he was so perfect for the role of Aladdin. Like, he had a beautiful smile, he was so charismatic, exactly like Aladdin is in the animated version. His voice was great, his acting was so great, and I genuinely cannot think of anyone else who could have played Aladdin as well as he did. Princess Jasmine was played by Naomi Scott, again an actress who I hadn't really heard of before. Like, the name rings a bell, but I'm pretty sure I hadn't seen her in anything before, and Lord have mercy, she was also fantastic. Her voice is just incredible, and her acting skills again were so great. She had such great chemistry with Mina, who plays Aladdin. I've watched quite a lot of interviews as well with the two of them, and they seem to be really good friends off camera as well. We have Will Smith as the Genie. Now, Will Smith seemed to be one of the biggest issues that a lot of people had when it was first announced that he was going to be playing the Genie. Everyone was like, oh my god, but no one can play it as well as Robin Williams. Yes, you are right. Of course nobody can play like Robin Williams, because he was Robin Williams. That was him. That was his way of acting it. Unfortunately, he's dead now. Trust me, it makes me sad as well. Like, if the guy was alive, of course I would have probably preferred him to be playing the role of Genie in the live action movie. But I think it was very harsh how people full on jumped on Will Smith and were like, no, 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 he can never be as good as Robin Williams, because I don't think that's what he was trying to do anyway. Like, I think Will Smith knew from the start, from when he got the call, that he wasn't going to be able to do it exactly like Robin Williams. And he didn't. He put his own stamp on it. He added a bit of his own, like, character and personal, I guess, passions and interests into the character of Genie, and he made it funny in a different way to the way Robin Williams made the Genie funny. Like, stop comparing. I don't like the fact that people continuously compare everything. Obviously he wasn't going to be Robin Williams. He's not Robin Williams, he is Will Smith, and I thought his Genie was fantastic. Genuinely, I thought he was so funny. I laughed out loud plenty of times. I thought he did really well with the emotional scenes as well. He had great chemistry with Aladdin, Mina. I love the scenes between the two of them. I thought they were just such a great pair of friends. I can just imagine how much pressure Will Smith had to try and get this role as right as possible, and for me, he got it right. He was a great Genie, he was funny, he had the charms of Genie, all the silly faces that he pulled, and actually, I thought he had a pretty good voice as well. Like, of course he's not like this phenomenal singer, but the songs that he sang for Aladdin, like Friend Like Me or Prince Ali, I thought they were fine. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the guy is George Michael or like this incredible voice artist, but it didn't sound bad at all in my opinion. Like, I was enjoying it. Prince Ali especially was just really, really fun. That whole scene, Lord have mercy. Yeah, and he added a bit of rap into it as well, because that's kind of what he does, and honestly, I really liked his portrayal. Marwan Kenzari played the role of Jafar. A lot of people seem to have an issue with his way of portraying Jafar as well for some reason, and I kind of get it, I guess, because Jafar in the cartoon animated version is so evil and so like animated. I mean, his face alone is such a villanesque face, and Marwan Kenzari, bless him, he's a pretty good looking guy, and he doesn't really look like Jafar in the cartoon. But I don't think that matters. Like, I actually really enjoyed his portrayal. To me, the way he portrayed Jafar was more cunning rather than evil necessarily, but I was genuinely scared of him. Whenever he came on screen, I was like, oh my god, I don't like this man, he terrifies me. Like I said, it's not at all in the same way as the Jafar in cartoon. Scares me, I guess. But at the end of the day, when you make a live action film, you have to make things a little bit more realistic, and in my opinion, the Jafar in the animated version of Aladdin is so out there as a character that it just wouldn't have made sense to have a villain like that in real life. For me, the way Marwan Kenzari portrayed Jafar actually made him more realistic and more real. I genuinely believe that he was this evil guy. He wasn't just this animated Jafar, like, oh, all these, like, you know, scary faces and stuff. I mean, he did actually have a scary laugh as well, to be fair, but the fact that he was so calm and evil at the same time just made him very cunning, and I genuinely found him scary, and I thought he did a really good job. His acting, again, I thought was faultless. So yeah. Two more people that I want to talk about, and this is actually the third thing that I really love about this film. So if you guys didn't know, I am part Iranian. My ethnicity is Middle Eastern. I wasn't born in Iran, but my parents are Iranian, and I lived in Iran for quite a few years as well when I was younger, so Iran has a special place in my heart. Like, Persian is my first language. These are just things that you might not have known about me, because obviously on this channel I just speak English, but yes, I'm Iranian, and because of that reason, I just feel very proud when Iran gets represented in great events around the world. And the two next actors that I'm going to talk about are both Iranian. So the first one is Navid Negahban. He is quite a well-established actor actually in America. He's been in quite a lot of like TV shows, etc. I've not really seen him in anything though. My mom recognized him. But yeah, Navid Negahban is an American Iranian actor, and he played the role of Sultan. I thought he did a fantastic job. Again, he played the Sultan a lot more realistic than the Sultan in the cartoon version. He had so much more emotions. He just seemed more real. I feel like the cartoon version of the Sultan is a bit more like just kind of fun and a bit silly, whereas Navid played him a lot more serious and genuine. I thought his acting was so great. And yeah, to those of you who don't like the fact that the Jafar in this film was played so different to the version in the cartoon, I want to ask you this: why do you not have a problem with the Sultan being played so differently? Because in my opinion, the Sultan is also played very differently to the Sultan in the cartoon. So to me, that seems like a directional choice to make the whole thing a lot more real, and I'm all for it. And then the next actress who I'm going to talk about, who is also Iranian, is Nasim Pedrad. Now she is an American Iranian actress again. She was born in Iran, but then her family immigrated to America when she was very, very young. She played the role of Dahlia, who isn't actually in the cartoon version of Aladdin, but she's such a great character. Like, she is so funny that I'm so glad they added her to the film. She's basically meant to be Jasmine's best friend, or like kind of assistant kind of chick, and I thought she was so great. Everyone else in the cinema agreed with me as well. Like, all the scenes that she was in, people were loving her in it. She's just so funny in the film and lovable, and just her chemistry with Jasmine was great. They kind of balanced each other out really well, because Jasmine's more serious, and in contrast, Dahlia's kind of beliefs and what she wants in life were very different, I guess, to Jasmine. It was just, basically, I feel like her character alone is worth going to see Aladdin, the live action film, because she genuinely makes the whole thing so, so great. She was one of my favourite characters in the whole film. Let's talk about the songs now, very, very briefly, because for the most part, all the songs were the same songs that are in the animated film, like Prince Ali and Friend Like Me and A Whole New World, of course. I thought all the songs were sung well enough. Like, of course, they were going to be quite different to the animated version. Like, these actually sounded a bit more modern. Like, there was a bit of rapping in some of them, a bit of new vibes in some of the songs, which for me actually worked. They kind of blew some fresh air into some old songs, and I quite liked it. And then there's this new song that was written for Jasmine. It's called Speechless, and it happens towards the end of the film, and Lord have mercy, I thought it was phenomenal. Like, a beautiful song. I believe it was composed by Alan Menken, as well as the people who wrote The Greatest Showman. I'm sorry, I don't know their names, but it was a good song. It's a fantastic song, in fact. A lot of people have said that the song feels very out of place, and again, I kind of get what they're saying, because the song is so big, it really is, and Naomi's voice as Jasmine is so phenomenal. It's like, she sounds like Elphaba from Wicked when she's singing it. She's so great. And because of that, for some people, the song didn't work. Like, they were like, oh my god, it looks like we're watching a music video suddenly in the middle of the film. And weirdly enough, that's actually what I liked about the song. Maybe it's the true musical theatre fan in me, but I really liked how they did the whole Speechless scene. Like, yes, it is different, and yes, you could probably take that scene out of the film and it could be its own music video, but I loved it. I thought the fact that it was towards the end of the film made it more reasonable to have that. And again, for me, I think it's the fact that people just don't like change, and they want to stick to the original songs, and they're like, oh my god, this new song made it all different. No, it didn't. It was just like a really good song, and you're just not accepting it because it's a new song, in my opinion. So yeah, I loved it a lot. The choreography numbers were fantastic. Like, for me, Prince Ali, that whole scene was probably one of the highlights. A Whole New World was really well done as well. It brought me to tears nearly, I'm not gonna lie. Will Smith and Mina Masood as the Genie and Aladdin have so many hilarious scenes throughout the film. Like, I genuinely laughed out loud multiple times. They've made Aladdin in this film so funny and charismatic, and not that the Aladdin in the cartoon version isn't, but Mina Masood is just a bit more funny, but not in an over the top way. Like, don't go into this expecting to like have comedy moments all the time. It's just in the right places. It's just the right amount of comedy. I'm trying to keep this review as spoiler free as possible, even though I don't even know how there could be any spoilers, because I feel like most of you already know what Aladdin's about and the story and everything. I just don't want to go into particular details of this live action film, like scenes and stuff, because I want you to be surprised if you go and see it, because there are like some great scenes, I'm telling you. The carpet. I have to talk about the magic carpet, because Lord have mercy, this piece of carpet brought so much joy into my life in those few hours. They've CGI'd the carpet so well. Like, he has so much character. He was clapping at one point, he was laughing, and when he was laughing, the audience was laughing. Me and my mum were like full on dying of laughter. Abu as well. Abu has done really, really well in my opinion. So for me, I think Abu and the carpet weirdly are two of the highlights of the film as well, because they were just both so cute and so funny. This film is just so fun. Legit, I didn't go into it expecting to laugh so much, and also didn't expect to cry, because I did cry a couple of times. Once when it was that magic carpet scene, and also towards the end, you know, that moment between Aladdin and the Genie. You guys know what I'm talking about. That made me tear up a bit. But yes, that is it. I don't want this review to be too long. These are just some of my thoughts. I've probably forgotten to add some bits and bobs here and there, but as a whole, I loved it. It's definitely my favorite live action Disney film that they've done so far. I cannot wait to go and see it again. I've not felt this way about a Disney live action film ever, and I genuinely can see myself going to cinema to watch it at least another 3 times. And trust me, that wasn't just me, everyone in the audience felt the same. And my mum, who's obviously not as big of a Disney fan as I am, and she very rarely sees the same films over and over again, she was like, Sam, we need to go and see this again tomorrow. So yes, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave comments down below, let me know what you thought of Aladdin, and if you've seen it, tell me what your favorite part was, and if you haven't seen it, tell me if you're looking forward to it or why you're not going to go and see it. But I think you should go and see it, you know. Thank you for watching. If you didn't like it as well, the film, let me know why didn't like it, because I just don't understand how anyone could not like this film. It's so great. I genuinely, and this very rarely happens, I enjoyed every single minute of being in that cinema watching the film. There was not a single dull moment. There was not a single moment where I was like, oh my god, I really hope this ends soon, or oh, I wonder what the time is. No, the whole film was just so great. I loved it. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!